the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has fired another ballistic missile. This time, it flew over Japan, landing in the northern Pacific Ocean, making this the DPRK's longest missile test ever, and the very first time this sort of missile has flown over Japan. Here's RT correspondent Ashley Banks with more.
U.S. officials call this latest North Korea missile launch aggressive due to the path in which the missile traveled. For the first time, Pyongyang shot a missile over Japan, a close U.S. ally. Seoul's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the ballistic missile traveled close to 1,677 miles and reached a height of 341 miles, making this North Korea's longest missile test ever. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley responded to the latest missile launch.
The United States, along with Japan and South Korea, have called for an Emergency Security Council meeting this afternoon. We are going to talk about what else is left to do to North Korea. No country should have missiles flying over them like those 130 million people in Japan. It's unacceptable. They have violated every single UN Security Council resolution that we've had. And so I think something serious has to happen.
Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said, quote, "We will do our utmost to protect people's lives. This reckless act of launching a missile that flies over our country is an unprecedented, serious, and important threat." Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia, chimed in.
We insist that our North Korean neighbors fully abide by all the UN Security Council resolutions. This is the position that we stick to at all the UN Security Council meetings, and will do so at the meeting that is now being suggested after the recent missile tests by North Korea.
And in turn, this is what North Korea had to say.
The DPRK attaches great importance to the role of the Conference on Disarmament and remains fully committed to its efficient functioning for achieving its ultimate goal.
South Korea's foreign ministry has warned North Korea it will face strong opposition from the U.S.-South Korean alliance if it does not accept talks over its nuclear program and abandon its nuclear ambitions. South Korea's foreign ministry said North Korea's security and economic development are at risk if these missile launches continue. In addition to this, South Korea and the U.S. have stepped up their drills. Pyongyang regularly says these drills are an invasion rehearsal. However, the U.S. and South Korea say the drills are for defensive measures and are used to counter North Korean aggression. Shortly after North Korea launched its missile, South Korea's Air Force conducted a live-fire drill involving 4 F-15 fighters, which dropped 8 Mk-84 bombs that accurately hit targets on a military field near the country's east coast. North Korea's launch comes after the country fired 3 short-range ballistic missiles into the sea, and just a month after the country launched its second intercontinental ballistic missile, which experts say could reach deep into the U.S. mainland. And although so far the situation on the peninsula remains tense but under control, President Trump warned Pyongyang that all options are on the table after the latest missile launch. In Washington, Ashley Banks, RT.